welcome to our channel. We are two teachers in higher education that adore helping students and learning through fun and engaging methods. But after talking with a lot of adjuncts and instructors that work at different colleges and universities, we found that they don't have the time or experience to really gamify their lesson plans or to create new material. So that's why we're here. We're going to be working through each one of these educational packages. Last week we worked through reflections, and this week we're going to start with minute papers. This again is more on the simple side of it, but it is something that carries a lot of weight with it. So writing a minute paper. These are timed and they are done purposefully and often anonymously. It's an assessment tool of you as an instructor. It's not an evaluation. There's a distinction. An evaluation usually has an outcome. An assessment is just understanding where you are versus where you need to be and whether or not you need to adjust the path that you're on. It gets a sense of what they've learned, of what you've learned. Again, this is about you as an instructor assessing your teaching style. Have you been able to impart the information that you wanted to? Have the students learned, or do you need to repeat some pieces? Do you need to adjust? Are there some fundamental aspects that maybe the students are not understanding? The key to a lot of 1 minute papers are having open ended questions. These are things like your main points or your key points. These are your muddies and your clears, right? So this is something of the nature, what is muddy? What is unclear? What is something that they are still struggling to grasp versus what do they already have a handle on? What is it that they feel comfortable with? And being able to understand what to take out of your lesson plan and what needs to be reviewed. Maybe it's something of just talking about your confusing points or having the students review what they already learned. Maybe they picked up on some nuances that you didn't intend, or maybe they missed some things. Maybe you, as the instructor, missed some things. We're all infallible. For open ended questions, make sure that you always have something in the nature that is not yes or no, that is not a question that requires more of a paragraph. It is not something that requires a list. You want to be able to engage and start a discussion. Start with the hows, start with the whys, start with the whats. This is a way for them to analyze you as an instructor, analyze the material to see whether the relevance of it is applicable to either their personal life or their professional life or both, their attitudes toward a particular subject matter. Maybe it's even the attitude of you as the instructor. Have you grown bored and tired of the material? Are you still excited about the material? Are you still bringing in outside elements? Or is this something where you are working through your material in a very same old fashion and your experiences that you're bringing up are 20, 30 years old and completely out of date? What are the connections that they are making? And what are the connections that you are making with them? Are you able to bring it into their personal and professional life, saying this is what you will experience? And is this something that has a least or most in their life? Is this something that they should be aware of, but it's not exactly pertinent to their professional career? Or is this something that if they don't understand, they will have fundamental issues across the board with the rest of their profession? So when do you use this? The beginning, the middle, the end? For me, I like to use it at the beginning in order to understand how I can best change my material or change my lesson plan in order to give them the outcomes that the class wants as well as the outcomes that the students want. And then I do it at the end as well to help them understand what they actually learned or what I need to adjust. Again, this is an assessment tool for you as an instructor to understand your students better and understand your teaching better. For minute papers, again, it's an assessment. It is not an evaluation. You can't take this personal. If they come back and say that they have learned nothing in the class, then they've learned nothing. That's not on them, that's on you. It needs to be structured, it needs to be clear, it needs to have questions that are open-ended and allow the students to really examine, to understand, and to write about the class and the material that they're learning.